Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hey everyone, welcome to Season 2, Episode 106. And what a start we have today.
Hey, I made it.
You did. And something looks a little different about us tonight. I don't know what it
Think so?
is. Yeah. I don't know. People usually say I've got nice cans on my ears and
We're
and
going to
I don't
address
have
that.
them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody can hear us okay.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. Make sure that you can hear us. We're doing things slightly different tonight.
Yeah. We got Sonia in the chat. We got
Yeah.
Doc in the chat, of course. Sam, first one in. He's in the chat.
Sam's in there.
I think we had Dina in here. I think I saw
Sam too.
Well,
Yeah, well, hello.
all the usuals.
Hello, everybody. And also, too, something else that's new for us, and why don't we address it right off the top, is take a look at our background. How good does that look?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. It looks beautiful, Jeremy.
Yeah.
You know,
You have to tell our guests,
Yeah.
our listeners all about it.
Exactly. One of the things that people will know if they listen to the podcast or watch the podcast is I like to collect discs. When I say collect discs, if I get some signatures, they're not throwers to me. They're wall hangers. And so we have all these discs that we get signed from all these pros that we've met. People send them in, whatever. And we had nowhere to display them. We used to hang them on a shelf that we had in the middle there.
Yeah.
We kind of put them up. We jimmied everything. So thankfully, we reached out to a great Canadian company, Touch Disc Golf, who make these awesome displays for your discs.
Mhm.
Everybody has wall hangers or special discs that they either, maybe people got aces with their disc. I know people, once they get an ace, they don't throw it.
Yes, that's true.
They kind of retire that disc. These Touch Disc Golf disc displays, they come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. The small one, so the two on the outside, then the one in the middle, if I get it right. The one in the middle, there it is. Those are the small versions.
Okay.
And then the two there are the medium size. And they hold about 5 to 6 discs. The small ones hold roughly around about 3, that sort of thing. So yeah, they reached out to us, or we reached out to them. They kindly donated these for our studio. Now we have somewhere. Look at these fans. Look at the one in the middle, Jeremy.
Yes.
What a great way to display your disc. The nice Thunderbird
Chain Out Thunderbird
from Kevin King for the Trash Panda.
Yeah, looking good.
So Doc's saying that he likes them. He likes those wall hangers. He wants to know how they attach. So they come with wall plugs and screws.
Mm-hmm.
We're hanging them up a little bit differently because this is a wooden display behind us.
Yep.
But they come with all the hardware.
And, maybe what we should tell people is if you do like them, keep staying tuned, because Touch was nice enough to give us a couple extras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you do like them and you need them right away,
You can't wait.
They have a 30 to 50% off sale happening right now.
Yeah.
For Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all in between.
Well, thanks to them for getting those there and helping just keep making the podcast space look better and better.
Yeah. And the good thing about these is because they do hold 3, we're going to rotate the discs. So just want to quickly say, Jeremy, what's the one on your right?
On my side, I've got the Brooklyn O'Krafka Claymore that we picked up at Nationals.
The next one, you know who that is?
Next one is Sophia Donica, isn't it?
There you go.
Yes.
The one in the middle we already mentioned.
Chain Out Thunderbird. We got Tommy G, baby.
Shout out to Luke.
And then you got a classic.
Do you remember this one?
Looking at that, BC Open, and we got that. Who gave us that one?
Mark Thompson got that one.
Right.
He said it was a classic.
Our first guest
BC
on the podcast,
Open.
Mark Thompson.
He was never going to throw it. I think it's from 2005.
Wow, I think it might have been one of the first ones.
I think it was the first BC Open stamp disc, and he got it. I think Chad Stantz actually gave it to him because he was doing some things with Chad Stantz.
Yep.
He gave him that disc. Mark said he's never going to throw it and didn't want it just sitting around. So he wanted it displayed.
Yeah.
And what better place than the Chain Out podcast?
And just so that Chance Stad knows that we do know what his name is, I will
Did I say it wrong again?
Do you ever say it right? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Well, I do want to, after taking a little fun at you there, I do want to congratulate you, though, because there are some congratulations in order.
Me?
For those at home who don't know, Daryl does so much in disc golf. Not only is he an amazing host, he's also, as you know, a member of our local board, the Edmonton Disc Golf Association. And what was the title that you had?
I was communications member at large.
Right. You were communication members at
large.
large.
Media and newsletters and all types of things in between.
Right. And you might be thinking that maybe that was too much for you and you stepped back. But no, it actually was the opposite. It wasn't enough for you
There you go.
and you needed more.
I had more to give.
So we just had the Edmonton Disc Golf Association annual general meeting. I was sitting in as a viewer, watching all the board action happening out at Polyrhythm Brewing, which is a great brewery.
It is.
And yeah, and with that, oh, this is the drum roll.
Drum roll.
There was a new change in board members, and what happened, Daryl?
Yeah. You're now looking at the new vice president. There you go. Dylan guessed it.
Mr.
Or
VP.
He knows all about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations on that. That's going to be a great new role for you, and I know you're going to do great. You and Brock. Brock is the president still, as we know, and it's going to be a great team. And there's so many great board members there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're not quite done. One thing, I don't know if you want to let someone into the green room,
Oh,
but
sure.
you could do that.
Thank you.
But the other thing is that's not it.
That's
That
not
wasn't
all.
enough for you because you lost
Right.
communications. But then what happened?
But I just can't stay away.
That's
And
right.
it's not the fact that I wanted to do it. It's the fact that, somebody recognized that if somebody's good at something, they get recognized, right?
Oh yes, of course.
I got reached out to by Brendan, who is from BR Disc Golf, one of our sponsors.
Mhm.
He is a member, or he is a zone coordinator for Disc Golf Alberta.
Right.
And they had their annual general meeting the same night as we had our Edmonton annual general meeting.
Okay.
And they were discussing that they wanted to have a bit more of a social media presence for Disc Golf Alberta.
Yes.
So Brendan asked me if I would be interested in doing the social media for Disc Golf Alberta. So that's another new thing that I'm doing.
Well, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get the camera to go a little higher soon just to accommodate all the hats
All the
that you'll
different
be
hats.
wearing. There you go.
Nice.
Well, what about tonight's show? Tonight we are going to be chatting with kind of another first for us, Daryl. We're going to have a player and we're going to zone in on this. So you better get ready. And hopefully the guest is ready too, because we're going to be asking a lot of questions about it. But we got a player who throws predominantly thumbers. I don't think I've ever met many, maybe one or two.
I was just going to say, I don't think I've ever thrown a thumber.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I don't think I've met many people that throw them, but I've never thrown one myself.
So if you are in the listening crowd there and you've thrown a number of them, you might hear a ton of questions that you're like, guys, how do you not know that yet? Right. Stephen Porcaro is going to be joining us, aka Thumber DG, in about 15 minutes as we get through the top of show here. And part of that top of show is us just wrapping up our recent league we were playing. We had about an 8-week, 10-week league, the Niska Handicap League that we played.
The fall league.
Yeah, it was our fall one.
Yeah.
And really what happened was you went out and we found out is every round you played registered in on UDisc.
Yeah.
And then UDisc would calculate a new handicap for you each week. And that way, when you have super great players like Steve Newman who can really score well under par,
and
then you got players like us who can really score well over par, it could be an even battle. And we just did our last week in a little bit of snow, a little bit of cold.
Perfect segue into Winter League.
Yeah.
We got lucky. It was a fall league.
Mm-hmm.
We only had one cold day prior to the last day, and then the last day we knew that it was time that the fall league was over.
Yeah. And I think the nice thing about it was you and I, like, you've played Rundle League, I've played some Rec Leagues and Rundle League, and you got some money this year, but we're never really winners, it feels like. But in this league here in the fall, because of that handicap, you had a chance to win one week.
Yeah.
And this last week, it was close. Myself and Jana Olson, we went into hole 18, a par 4, a gettable birdie par 4 if you get the right throw.
For us, it's a gettable birdie.
Yep.
For people like Uncle Steve, it's a gettable eagle.
Yes. So we head into that one tied, the three of us.
Yeah.
For the win.
And it was funny because 16 and 17, I think you had mentioned to me, you're like, oh, I'm not playing well.
Tanking.
You've got it. I'm losing it. And then we checked the scores on 18 and you're like, how is this possible? We're all three of us are tied.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I get the birdie. Oh, I'm just jumping right to it.
Oh, you had the birdie and I took the par.
Yeah. So I got my first win under I was just so excited to say I got my first league win.
You did.
So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then
you earned it. You got the birdie.
That was good.
Yeah.
And it was kind of neat though, was because it was the handicaps that made the difference because we had 6 people on our card. It was the only 6 who showed up that week. And 5 of the 6 all shot a +4, but it was the handicap that actually made the difference.
That's it.
Hmm. So that was cool. We gave a ton of love to Uncle Steve last week when he scored a -14. He still got
Uh, yeah.
a -1, and I think to him that felt like a +14 or
Isn't
something
it
like
funny
that.
though when you go out with somebody who can play as well as Uncle Steve
Yeah.
or even Dylan or whoever it might be,
Hmm.
and then you play with them time and time again, and you see them just throw these shots and they lace them and they hit it every week, and then one week you watch them and they're like shanking it to the right into the trees, and they're releasing early, and they just Uncle Steve just couldn't seem to find his vibe, his groove until maybe the back nine.
Till then he
Still,
started
even
lighting
though
up.
as bad as he played, and I said didn't say he finished
Air
bad,
quotes.
he still finished with the -1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talk about liking to do some tournament reviews, and we're starting to run out of them, Daryl. When you go up
Well,
onto there's not a lot of
I
tournaments out
feel
there.
like all the tournament reviews now are going to be
Could be BC or
BC
yeah,
only.
I think so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of duck golf out there
Right.
and such.
Do you want
But
me to do this one?
yeah, go ahead and start it off.
I'm not gonna be able to do that bold part because
Oh, that's
we had
fair.
issues.
That's
But
fair.
the tournament that we want to highlight this week was the FRDG Comet Only exhibition event that happened in
Not
Orlando.
exhibition. It was even different than that.
Sorry. It was an extinction
An
event.
extinction event. That's why
Yeah.
I saw that one and I'm
Yeah.
like, comet extinction. Okay, you got
Right.
my attention.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to?
No, no, you're good. You keep
Okay.
going.
Yeah. So this one, like, this happened out in Aurelia, Ontario.
Hmm.
Now, we want to thank the TD, Victoria Fenninger, for this one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
There was 2 rounds.
Okay.
On disc golf scenes, there's 2 rounds. Players received 3 premium glow discs.
Yes.
Okay. So in the first round, it was a shotgun start,
Yep.
and it was only Comet only.
Okay. So one disc of your
1
three
disc.
probably that
Yeah,
you
one.
got.
I'm assuming it's 1 out of the 3. It was a Comet, and
Hmm.
it was Comet only. After that, you take a break, you go into round 2,
Hmm.
then you kind of pair it up for tee times.
Okay.
Then it became sudden death elimination. So you started with your glow Comet only again,
Hmm.
but then if you were eliminated, you got 1 redemption. So
So it's like a real life in a video game or something like
yeah,
that.
exactly. Like a replay, like a buy-in in poker, like a, use your second life sort of thing. But after that, it was no more Comet.
Oh, so when you came back in,
You weren't allowed to use your
your
Comet
comet
anymore.
died,
Yeah.
but you got to come back.
I'm assuming it was with another disc that you got because it was a glow undead samurai sensei.
Okay, now if we know our discs,
We know senseis.
comets are like a understable mid,
Yeah. 4, 5,
and the
-2.
sensei I know because that was my first ace was with one of those.
Right.
So they're more like a 3-2-0-1 or something like that. They're more
Something
of a
like that.
yeah.
I'm not too sure on
So
the
so
sensei
you're
numbers.
back, but you're a little weakened.
But you're weakened down to a putter.
Yeah.
And then that just kept on going until there was only 1 person left standing. And then the third disc
Hmm.
was just a surprise. We never did find out what that disc was going to be, but we assumed it was a great disc, and then we're assuming it was a glow disc as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that it sounded like a
And
good
because it
event.
was an exhibition extinction, there were no results.
Well, I'm thinking with tournaments like that, that's just we talk about how a match play tournament would be good, but something like this, it's just new, it's different,
Yeah.
it's something to mix it up and have a little fun at the end
And
of
it's
the
good
year.
for this time of year, right? People are winding down.
Yeah.
The A tiers, B tiers, all the main events are done. This is just like we still want to play, but people aren't around to play or
Yeah.
time and everything else.
Well, and I took a look to see, and FRDG is FR Disc Golf.
Yeah.
And I believe it's Victoria's company. And I saw a post that I wanted to try and refine, but I couldn't. But it sounds to me like FRDG might have took on some of Toplink's stock in Barrie, Ontario once they Ryan
Okay.
Clare and that. So I
Yeah.
know they were close together.
Yeah.
So maybe took that on when Toplink was shutting down. And if you look on the website for FRDG, they say that January 1st, 2026, they're going to really launch their website. So it's nice to see another disc golf company with all the ones that we saw close in
Exactly.
Canada to see another one coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So unlike the comets, this one's going up, not coming down.
Exactly.
And we were going to show the poster. Go out to disc
What's the
golf.
opposite
Scene.
of extinction? Thriving?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, regeneration. I don't know. But if you go and you check out on Disc Golf Scene that tournament, there's this really awesome poster. It's like one that, your family or kids would have done. So go check that out. Right. What else do we have? I have to do a little bit of cleanup news here, Daryl,
Okay.
because I forgot to mention this, and it's a great night with Stephen Porcaro joining us from BC.
Mm-hmm.
Dion Eden, who we had on the show. You
Yeah.
remember that?
There's a lot of accessibility disc golf.
Yeah. And also the president of the BC Disc Golf Association. Well, they had their annual general meeting on November 19th, and I just wanted to do some highlights because I told him I would mention about that, and I forgot to. So we're a couple weeks later.
Sure.
But Okay. So here's some things that I saw. BC last year, 15 new courses installed in BC, and that was probably a big loud pop, but it was worth it on the mic there. 15 new courses. And they also did a program where there's community champions, where they were recognizing BC disc golfers in the different regions who made a difference in their community. And we'll have to ask Stephen because he was a nominee. I don't
Correct.
know if they voted for them yet or not, but
Yeah.
he was nominated.
I can see that.
BC school program, they started giving out baskets and discs. The women's and juniors series in BC were starting to grow, and similar to what we had,
Mm-hmm.
they got 3 new board members for the board. So congrats to Kyle Yun, Derek Salmon, and John Ritchie. And hopefully I got the names. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, is what I
Yeah,
think. I think I did a
sounds good to
meatloaf on
me.
that one. What about our
I
sponsor?
just wanted to let you know that Carrie confirmed that Victoria worked for TopLink.
Oh,
So
there you
you got the
go.
link correct. There you go.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, and Carrie would know because I know she was associated with them as well.
There you go.
You know, let's do it a little different here. Shout out
Oh.
the sponsors for us. What do you think?
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I want you to do it.
Well, I'm the button guy. You do it.
All right. So we have 2 sponsors of the Chain Out podcast. We've got BR Disc Golf. Brendan does a great job over there. If you use Chain Out, you can get 10% off at checkout. He let us know that he's been working hard to add more MVP, more Castoplast discs that he's brought into the website, and we'll be putting more up as he can. Also, he's got a ton of nice small size bags for you to take your putters to putting league or maybe go out and do a winter round. He's got the MVP Axiom satchel bags as well as the classics from Discraft and all the other manufacturers. And then our other sponsor right now is Cardinal Disc Golf, and you can get 10% off there by using the code CHAINSPACEOUT. And in speaking with Kevin and Lane, that amazing, you've seen it,
Oh yeah, the
Black Bear jersey. So it was like a Gannon jersey that they blacked out.
Right, for the Black Friday specials, they got the black caps as well. You seen those?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that new cardinal hat with the words upside down?
No.
Apparently, that's all the rage right now.
I
Is
put words upside
to
down.
put words are upside down. It just it's eye catching and gets people talking about it. But that looks
Neat.
pretty cool as well.
Well, and there's also 2. The other item is an Aiden Scott victory jersey. So all of those items are available, but you got to order by December 9th because once they're gone,
They're done.
they're done. That's what we've been told. They're gone.
They're gone.
Once they're gone, they're done. All right. Well, we've got our guest. We know our listeners are waiting to hear from him. He's been sitting in the green room here, enjoying himself, I hope. So let's get our intro going.
Do you think he's eating all the M&Ms?
Well, are we going to do something better for Christmas? Maybe we can get those mint chocolate M&Ms in there.
Do you like mint chocolate?
Oh, love it. Love it.
Maybe green and red mint chocolate M&Ms for Christmas. Yeah, we can do
Maybe
it.
a little dark chocolate
Maybe
in
we
there.
can put some Baileys in there.
Ooh. I'm going to hang out in the green room on next episode.
There you go. Okay, let's go for it.
Tonight's guest has been a PDGA member since 2023 and has been totally committed to disc golf ever since. So much so, Daryl, that his PDGA membership is in place until 2028. I renew every year. He's good till 2028.
Right, because you can buy a 10-year membership, can't you?
Yeah, well, he's in there. Yeah. This year, he worked hard to fundraise for junior disc golf and hosted a free tournament for 42 juniors.
That's awesome.
So join us in welcoming Stephen Porcaro, Mr. Thumber DG, to the podcast.
Hey, Stephen,
hello. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for joining.
So how is it? How are you doing tonight out there?
Doing pretty good. It's cooling off a bit, and I forgot to put the heat on in my room, so I'm a little cold right now.
All right. Well, we got enough hot air over here that will probably warm you up a little bit. When we were looking, Stephen, we see that you're located out in Vernon, BC, and we just mentioned Dion Eden, who's the BC Disc Golf Association president. He's been on the show, and he's from the other end of the Okanagan Valley there down in Osoyoos, and he talked really highly about all the courses down at his side of the lake. How are the courses up your way? What's your home course up there?
So home course for the public here in Vernon would be a Lakers Disc Golf Club. It's just a short little par 3 course, 9 holes, and that great for beginners. It's wide open, maybe like 5-6 trees, and that so it's super easy going. And then we have a private course called Naked Acres, which I would say is my home course. It's where I go all the time. It's a private course, and it's really highly rated on UDisc, and it's a very challenging course. So it's heavy woods, heavy elevation, and that it's probably, I would say, it's my favorite course around.
Okay. And
then just short, sorry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it a full 18 hole course in that Naked Acres?
Yes, it's a full 18. There's actually additional holes, so I can't quite remember. I think it's 27 and that,
Ooh,
but there's alternate layouts. But like the main 18 is what we play for league every week. There's OB been added to kind of help with pace of play and that, but it still makes it such a hard course compared to if you fell down the ravine with your disc that's like 50, 60 feet down. Now you don't have to do that, but it's still really challenging.
gotcha. Okay, yeah, that sounds like it'd be interesting because I know the terrain out there. You get some nice rolling hills and some smaller mountains out in the area, so I could just imagine some of those elevation changes there. Uh,
Yeah.
Now, do you have a hole on the course that's kind of your favorite hole, or maybe like one that you tend to, when you see it, it's just that picturesque one that frames up the course?
Well, the one to frame up the course would be hole 16. That's
Okay.
kind of the feature hole. You're up on an elevated pad above 15's fairway, and you're shooting all the way across about 250 feet across a ravine, over a creek, and above all the trees and everything. So
Okay.
it's actually really fun, and it's like it's a tunnel shot, though it looks wide open once you get off the tee pad. It's still kind of a tunnel shot. It's really
Gotcha.
fun.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds awesome. Well, the other thing we know about Vernon is it's also home to Big White Ski Resort, a place that's known for getting a ton of snow in the area. Now, does that snow get down from the mountain and actually get down towards where you are in town?
So Big White's in Kelowna, just out
Okay.
like outside of town. We have Silver Star here, which is like our
Gotcha.
our mountain resort. Um, the snow gets down in town, but nothing compared to up there. Like there are times we can go through winter with minimal snow and play almost the whole season, and that. But up there, they'll have a couple feet of snow.
Gotcha. So it does stay up towards the top of the mountain.
Hmm.
And what are you looking like now? Because we're getting snow just even as we speak. I was
Yeah.
driving down to the podcast studio and it was slow going with the snow coming down.
We got a bit of snow yesterday. I don't know if it's snowing right now, but we're starting to finally see it. We got our first snowfall.
Gotcha. And
What?
are you a fair weather player, or do you play all year long, whether that no matter
I
what the
play all
weather is?
year if I can. I'll just lean off my overhand game in the winter and that because it's very prone to get an injury when it's that cold.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
What's your go-to approach in the winter? Do you ribbon up? Do you only use certain color discs, things like that?
I ribbon up and I might switch my bag out a bit for colors, but I generally throw pink, so it goes good all year
Right.
and that. But I'll definitely ribbon up if it's enough snow.
Yeah.
Are you only throwing one disc as well?
No, I'll reduce down to like maybe five. The bag gets small, but not
Yeah.
down to one.
Gotcha. Good, good. Well, Stephen, one of the things that we like to do on the Chain Out podcast is we want to find out how you got into disc golf, but we don't want to come out and ask you because if we just asked you, it would feel boring.
Yeah.
And we like to be a little bit fun and maybe a little silly at the same time. So I come up with a story. It's based on a movie. If it has anything to do with your origin to disc golf, it's likely by luck. And so you can sit back and see if you can figure it out. And then we'll get the listeners to guess what movie I'm talking about. And then we'll find out the true story. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So it was said that the Vernon Canadians baseball team was once the pride of the town, the hottest ticket for miles. But not too long ago, Daryl,
Hmm.
they lost their pitcher, and rumors swirled that the owners might move the whole operation to Merritt, of all places. You couldn't let that happen, Stephen, so you showed up to tryouts, stepped onto the mound, and unleashed this strange thumb first pitch that stunned the coaches and made batters wonder if they should even step into the box. Suddenly, you were the talk of Vernon. Did you see that new pitcher? He's a real wild thing out there. And the stands filled just to watch whatever that throw of yours was going to do next. Kids started showing up at the games and throwing things onto the field during warm-ups just to see if you could throw them, a football, a golf ball, even a frisbee. You picked up that frisbee disc. You felt your thumb or grip just snap into place, sent it soaring from the pitcher's mound clear over the center field wall. The kids were amazed, and a new passion ignited inside of you. You saved the team that year and retired from baseball and having thrown discs ever since, you've been out there inspiring juniors and making a name for yourself. Now, maybe that's not quite how you got into disc golf, but why don't you tell us how it really happened?
It's close, maybe. Yeah. So I I would say I did start kind of way younger when I was a kid, but didn't truly start. In 2001, my grandparents opened Fallow Ridge, um,
Okay.
outside of Vernon in Coldstream, BC. It's a 27-hole course. It's private now. It's not public. So I was 7 years old. I started, I don't know, hanging out with them when they played and that, but it turned more me throw the disc 20, 30 feet and then roll down the hills and get bored after 2 holes and that. So I never really picked it up. And then in 2022, a friend had, kind of asked if I would like to try disc golf, go down to Lakers, and I happened to say yes. And from that moment, uh, I just kind of fell in love with it again. I was in a very bad place in my life and everything, and just the immediate people I met there, including actually kind of meeting some friends again that disappeared out of my life for 10, 15 years. Got to see them again, and it just the community sparked something in me. And, the rest of 22, I just kind of hung out, played disc golf, and I don't know, created friendships again. And then in 23, I decided to go pretty hard in competing and started playing A tiers, C tiers, anything I could.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that played almost every single day and everything. I loved it then.
Yeah.
And then come, let's say, October 23, I kind of started coming up with this whole junior fundraising idea, realizing this sport was a great way for people to have an outlet of some sort. So I started the fundraiser,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
since then I've just been doing that mainly and less play actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it gets to a point sometimes where just, playing disc golf isn't as much fun as helping out and doing everything else you can for the sport. And we know it's good to see that the community helped you out when you needed it as well.
And
Um,
I've noticed that too, Daryl, is that even like, Stephen, Daryl and I met on the disc golf course and started the podcast and became friends that way. And I've got probably well, yeah, quote, he says, quote unquote friends, but yeah, acquaintances on the disc golf course. But a lot of the people I've met in the last 3 years, I was hearing some other people mention this, and I can agree with it. Is that you can develop quick relationships and close relationships with other people with disc golf just due to that shared joy of the sport.
yeah.
So it's great to hear that you found that as well, and especially when you did need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
the community was great during that time. It was the thing I needed to, start the next chapter in life.
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, looking at your PDGA, it says that you joined, like you were mentioning there about 2022, 2023 is when you stepped up your game. It says you joined the PDGA in 2023, and Jeremy kind of mentioned it in the opening there that it seems like you're committed to disc golf because it says that you're signed up and you're a member until 2028. And I speculated
Um,
that that was a 10-year membership. Is that how it worked?
five.
I that is actually news to
Or
me.
five?
I paid every year, and that, like, I'm usually committed to getting it. For
I
it to
mean,
be set all the way to 2028, that's new.
I
I
mean,
like, maybe somehow I got some free years.
I mean, Jeremy does do his research, and he's good at doing his research. But sometimes,
Every now and then I'm off
every
of
now
it,
and
but
again, yeah.
we'll take a look because I'm pretty sure your PDGA page says you're good till 2028. I'm like, that's commitment. Or like you said, maybe somebody's
Did you
been
check?
doing you a favor and
Yeah.
got you a couple extra years.
Did you check the box that said 5 year instead of 1 year? There you go.
It didn't charge me for that, so who knows?
There you go.
Nice. And then, so it hasn't been that long for you there, Stephen, since you started playing. But one of the ones that we're always interested in is, do you remember your first tournament played and what that experience was like?
I do remember that it was a local one out at Foggy Baskets, just in Lumby. It's like a
Okay.
20-minute drive out of town from here. It was my first, yeah, it was my first C tier
Yeah.
and everything. I was actually planning to play in an A tier first, which I'm kind of glad I did play the C tier. Um, I would say it was very nerve wracking. I didn't,
Yeah.
it was hard to play the game I knew I could play and that. But in the end, it was a lot of fun. You got to meet new people. You got to play with some of your friends still, at least to keep it comfortable. But like meeting new people, seeing other people's style of games is always cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and I found it too is that you get out on the course, and that's one part of the game. At least for me, not everybody. A lot of people will just play socially, and some don't keep score or anything else. But for
Mhm.
me, I felt it took that next level up when I played that first tournament. And Carrie's in the Carrie Neal's
Chat.
in the chat box there too, and she'll remember that I had come out to TCO as one of my first couple tournaments, and that was where I really got an eye opener because I got to go to a Carrie Neal ran tournament and see, wow, this is what I'm getting into, and then that's where I really fell in love with disc golf, was taking it to that next level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, and that's that the ATR I was going to play first was TCO, like Carrie's tournament, but
yeah.
it became my second tournament because that local one popped up.
Well, there you
So
go.
There.
You have a lot in
You know
common.
what? We might have
Yeah.
actually. I'm thinking about it now, there, Steven. I was playing like MA4 or MA3, whatever lowest div she was offering that year.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm sure we were at the same tournament. That was Rose Hill, and then I was also playing. I didn't play MacArthur. I was down at Logan Lake for my other rounds. So,
yeah. So we probably did play like that was the same layouts I played.
oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Small
Yeah,
world there. So we would have saw each other well before this and not even known it. Probably is what
yeah.
happened there. There you go. Okay, I do get a little off track here too, Stephen, a bit, and because we're talking Vernon, because we're talking Okanagan, I've been down there to Penticton and all of that. I do need to know: do you have a good Ogopogo story, or do you have somebody who has a good Ogopogo story for me? Because I love hearing those.
I personally don't have one at all, and that,
No.
but it's a I don't know. To me, it's still kind of a myth here. I don't know. It's a long, wise tale by many older folks. The younger generation don't know much about it, I don't think.
Well, I did the research, Jeremy.
Oh, okay. You're pulling up receipts. What's going on?
So TCO 2023.
Okay,
You played in MA3
yes.
and you finished. There were 52 people. One person did not finish.
Yeah.
You finished 43rd.
Oh,
You
okay.
did, yeah, not too
Not
bad.
too bad. Yeah.
Stephen finished 12th
Oh, well, we were in the same div.
in the same division.
Ah,
Yeah.
So who knows if you? I mean, probably you may not have been on the same card, but definitely would have been in the
no.
same tournament, walking around at the same time. So
Yeah, I would have remember what happened was,
Yeah.
while Stephen, while you were still sleeping, I was halfway through my round.
The same division, we're probably out there early together.
Yeah, there you go.
that's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, good stuff. All right, let's get into what we want to know about here, or one of the things, Daryl.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to know is Daryl and I couldn't even tell you the first thing about throwing a thumber. And we want to know, like, when we look at your socials in the posts that you put out there, you're constantly throwing them. How did that become your throw and not just a backhand or a forehand? Like, how did that come about?
Randomly, I think it came about at when I was down at Lakers one time, and I just felt like grabbing a disc and throwing it that way. Had no
Okay.
clue about a thumber or a tomahawk, any kind of overhand shot, and I just kind of
Wow.
threw it, and it went like 75 feet or so, and I was like, "Well, it's kind of cool what it did." And
Yeah.
from that point on, I just kept trying, and then found a couple other discs that worked better, and eventually it just kept growing in distance, and then I like aced a hole. I think that was 180 feet,
Okay.
and from that moment on, I was locked in, and I just started buying discs left, right, and center to try to find the best ones.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
since then, I've been hooked. I'm overhand dominant, but I still play a lot of backhand, forehand. I will not say I'm a pure overhand player.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So that kind of leads me on then. I don't know about you, Jeremy, but so what makes a good thumber disc? Do you want to understable, overstable? Does it depend on how you want it to go, or is there just a certain disc that works?
Yeah, it would be depending on the flight, but generally for thumbers, you want to go overstable and low glide. And that I
Okay.
personally find the 9 speed slot like is your best go-to. Once you get higher and higher, it doesn't really matter unless you have that true power, I
Right.
find. So I don't even thumber anything over a 9 speed. I have a nuke in the bag for a tomahawk, but that's about it.
Right.
So
And
yeah,
then
so tomahawks want to be more understable though. Still stable, but more understable than a thumber.
All right.
okay.
I already need some help here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the difference?
I think. Well, from what I know, the difference is the.
You're gonna tell us, or you're gonna
I'm
let
just
the
gonna
pro
guess.
tell us?
I'm gonna guess.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
gonna
okay.
try and use my knowledge and say the difference is the angle of the disc, or like the way the top plate faces. Is that correct?
Yes, so one flies from to the left back to the right, and one flies to the right back to the left, and then I guess yeah, in your hand it is facing an opposite way. But
Yeah.
So you flip it around. Is that what you do to throw the tomahawk
yeah,
versus
so
the thumber?
a tomahawk, you're essentially I got a disc beside me.
Hey, there you go. That's a good way to do it.
There,
We'll do a
yeah.
show and tell.
So like a thumber will always be facing with like I use the pistol grip, so your thumb will be on the inside. Ooh, go lower,
Mhm.
Yep. There you go.
inside of the rim,
Right.
and then I use a pistol. A lot of pinches happening between these two fingers,
Okay.
and then a tomahawk. You're generally just going to your forehand grip of
Yep.
some kind,
Yeah.
and then the plate will be facing you instead of outward,
Right.
and then you're releasing a little more actually over your head, and that then a thumber is more of a natural throw.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I will say, Daryl, I've tried a couple times to do it, and I don't think I'm doing it right. But I've always thought, is it like throwing a baseball? Is that how I should be throwing it? Kind of going back to where I threw the baseball into your origin story. Is it quite like that, or is it a little different?
It is like baseball, I would say. Then for like if you're trying to go fast tunnel shots, like in the woods, I still use them to stay low. That's where
Okay.
the baseball style comes in because you'll throw it hard and low, and it will do its flip within the trees. And then you'd go to more of like for a bomber, like a football throw, a Hail
Okay.
Mary. You're trying to put
Right.
some arc under it to let it glide, or like not really glide, but fly before it actually comes back down.
Gotcha.
So you mentioned there that you don't, that's not all you throw, but like in a typical round, obviously course dependent, but on a typical round of disc golf, how many times would you break out a thumber?
Competitive rounds, I'm probably 50-50. And
Really?
that
Wow.
off the tee, maybe depending on the course, I might lean harder on the summer off the tee, but it's course dependent, I would say too, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes I won't tee off with it, but I'll approach or something
Gotcha.
with an overhand. So it's unknown. I would say 50-50 now. It used to be like 80-20. I would be pure thumbers and stuff, but I've
Yeah.
trying to expand my game and make sure my shoulder has longevity.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
big thing. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And with that too, so you said like 75 feet at the beginning, 180-foot ace, then you got to, what's your max distance that you've thrown a thumber now?
Uh, on a in competition, and that I've thrown for 450, or at least to a green that was four. It was a 480 green, and I got inside of it. So I did like as long as that that marking on that hole was right. That's where I believe I've gone before.
Wow.
Now I'm probably closer to 480 or 380, 400 since
Yeah.
I've kind of had a shoulder injury in that. But I'll train it back up and maybe get it back over that 400 guarantee.
Wow.
That's cool.
So when we throw discs backhand or forehand, obviously the wind can play a lot in our throws, but we're relatively keeping them, hopefully we're trying to keep them a bit lower than what you would be throwing. How much does the wind affect, obviously you have to take it into consideration, and once it's out of your hand, it can go pretty much anywhere. But is there like is there a flight of the disc on a thumber that you know that it's going to fight against the wind, or is it going to push forward through the wind? Because it's flipping as it's in midair, right? So you got to take. It's not like if you throw a backhand, you don't want to expose the underside of the disc.
Yeah.
With a thumber, you're seeing the top of the disc, the underside. It's gliding, it's sideways, it's everything. So how do you combat that?
Well, once it gets super windy, they tend to have to go away. Like I
Right.
can't play them. But otherwise, like tailwind will actually help the thumber a bit,
Okay.
depending on the disc you use. Like if I'm using my bomber overstable splice, it will help push it forward because it like gets on the back of the or the bottom side of the plate. Um, and then headwind, I just would rather not even throw into headwind almost, like if it's super
Yeah.
strong, because soon it starts churning, it grabs that plate and actually comes backwards. And a lot of time you'll go 200 feet and then it'll come back 50 feet as it's falling. So
Right.
like, no point.
Yeah.
No point. Well, okay, and now I got another one for you that, and I know we appreciate you humoring us
Exactly.
with all of these questions because, like we're saying, this is the first time we've actually had someone who throws them and threw them 80% of the
Yeah,
time who
exactly.
could give us some of these answers.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another one for you. Is how many times have you been able to 360-degree flip a disc in one flight? Have you had one? Can you corkscrew one when you
Uh,
throw a thumber like that, or no?
I used to have a very beaten understable disc to do that, and it's kind of like it'll do one whole barrel roll and then like actually catch flight and glide like a normal disc.
Oh, okay.
And that I've done that a couple times and seen it go over 400 feet, but I haven't been able to figure it out that I would say I'd have control and actually
Right.
want to use that. Um, but I've been recently told of a disc that does it on a regular basis, so I'm going to try to
Oh.
see if experiment with that. Let's go with that and see if it works.
So is
Yeah.
that a teaser for a video that we should be watching that'll be coming soon on the Thumber DG channel, hey?
Yeah, potentially. It'll probably have to wait till after winter, I would say, or the colder times, just because you have to throw it quite hard for that flight.
Yeah. Well, and Daryl, when Daryl and I were down in Lethbridge at Spring Runoff, we go there every couple of years, and there's a gentleman from Calgary that we'll run into there,
Mhm.
and he's a overhand thrower, Chad Baker, and I don't know if you've come across him because we're wondering too. Is there like is it like a motorcycle gang or the guys who drive Jeeps and stuff? Is like when you see another guy who's throwing overhands, you're like, that's my people kind of thing?
Definitely for sure. Like when we see each other out on the course, or like if I'm even on an opposite card during a tournament and I see someone throw one, like I get stoked about it and usually say something to them after. And that like I don't know. There's also like the Thumber Nation, which is Jason Popejoy and that, but like we kind of all kind of group into that. And like when we're out on the course yelling Thumber Nation, it's kind of a take on the Raiders Nation
Right.
thing that people had for football. It's that.
No, I'm just trying to think because I know I'm trying to rack my brains. Is there somebody on tour on the Disc Golf Pro Tour that
There
is famous for
was.
throwing a thumber? I'm asking the expert here.
Yeah, you are,
You
yeah.
want to
But
answer
there
first?
was, I think. I think there was.
Well, I know. Is it?
On the Thumber side, not
Yeah.
really as much. Like Matt Dollar used to throw them a lot, and then I think Stoll, I forget his first
Yeah.
name,
Jarrett
the
Stoll.
Jared
Right.
Stoll. He
Yeah.
throws both of them, but mainly tomahawks. He'd be the
Right.
only one I think truly left that would lean to a overhand if need be. And that,
Right.
right, Jake Wolf being the tomahawk
That's the
dominant player
guy.
Wolf.
is
That's
Yeah.
who I was thinking
right.
of. Yeah. Yeah.
He retired last season or at the end of last year. So
Oh.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And I wonder too, I've never seen Dylan Cease throw a disc, but I wonder if that's how he throws them
Yeah.
too.
No.
You never know.
he's
But
Might
probably
get a chance to
tried.
see it.
I bet he's tried. He'd
yeah.
probably be really good.
Well, for sure. Well, as we get going, thanks for the Thumber lessons. When we run into you, we will be asking you a ton more, but we
Yeah.
don't want to keep the listeners on that. But what we'll say, Stephen, was, many of us love the sport. We find different ways to show that love and to really dial in our passion for it. And Daryl and I have done it by doing this podcast, but it looks like your passion is really there. And it's started to develop. Where do you think that came from? Like, was it the flight of the disc? Do you think it was that meeting the right friends at the right time? Like, what was it that drove this passion that you have for disc golf?
I'd give it both. Like the watching the disc fly, and like I wouldn't not an adrenaline spike, but kind of like when you get a really good shot, it feels good. Like I really like that. But like I definitely lean more on the community side. Like
Okay.
the community is the biggest part of this
Yeah.
sport, I think. And any whether you're going through rough times or you're the happiest or whatever, the whole community accepts you regardless of your situation. So that's the best thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
I would agree. Yeah. And then you mentioned it a little bit earlier, with going through tough times, having the community step up for you, and then getting to a point where you wanted to give back a little bit more. And now, like you mentioned about doing some more events and really getting the junior disc golfers into the community as well, and getting them into the sport. How did that come about?
I think it was in 23, maybe 22. On Boxing Day, I just randomly put out a doubles event, like quick 2-day notice just kind of on Facebook, and like 20 something people showed up to play, and I was like, oh, this maybe there is something around like for doubles or anything. So I started thinking about it more. And in 2023, I like approached a buddy and I was like, I want to make a double series. I want to get back to juniors. Like 100% of the proceeds go to the fundraiser. We like no one keeps anything, all that. And it just, he like no questions asked. My buddy Brandon Bellinger was like, let's do it. Let's create it. Let's create a series. He listened to my crazy ideas that I had. I already had plans for multiple tournaments to do this and yeah, it just like within a road trip. It was a road trip from one of the Crush Cup tournaments. We
Great.
we just kind of put it all together and was like, let's have it done and ready and introduce it in 2024.
Nice.
That's awesome. Just like that. That's how you get things done, Jeremy. You just think of an
2 days.
idea, get it, put it out there, and yeah.
Well, and before we get to the big culmination of all of your hard work in the tournament that just happened, how many doubles events did you do as fundraisers before that to get towards it?
So in 24 we did two for the series and raised. That one wasn't quite for the tournament. We raised for juniors. I didn't have that junior fall classic idea ready yet, so
Okay.
we did two events, raised as much money, and we ended up sending kids to BC Junior Championship. We paid for their memberships for the PGGA, and we also donated $1,500 to TCO to pay for every junior, set them up with some player packs that are a bit different than the average amateur pack,
Right.
and then in 20 yeah this year in 25 we were able to put on three events and raise over $5,000 in this one season alone between the three, and that's where we were able to have a big lump sum to finally put on a 2-day event that would be 100% free for juniors. And that,
That
because I do believe that like to get the kids in the sport,
Mhm.
we got to give it the free accessibility right now, and that so the families don't have to worry about that, and are able to experience what the game is and the community around it.
Yeah.
That is so
Agree.
amazing. And, Stephen, we've been lucky to have Ryan Bevilacqua on from the Ontario side of the country. And he's done some juniors tournaments and it's been impressive. But like the amount of money that you raised and in the short period of time and then getting 1,500s to TCO so that
Yeah.
the juniors could play for free there. That's amazing. That's
Bev-
awesome.
Bevy's in the chat.
Yeah, and Bevy is in the chat as well, so he's throwing some
Yeah.
thanks out to you there. So now having once you got that all together, then you did come up with the idea for the Junior Fall Classic, and we want to share how wonderful that was and everything you can tell us about it because you had let us know it was happening. Unfortunately, we
Yeah.
couldn't get out there, but we wanted to take some time and really celebrate that and hear all about it. So what can you tell us?
Well, it was an amazing event. I couldn't really wrap up the whole event in words in that, but Carrie Neal came on as the co-TD, and she did a week later put out an amazing post with her word, like in her own words, and that. I also have to say thank you to Carrie. She mentored me through this whole event because it was my
She's a
first
great mentor.
sanctioned event, and that. So big shout out to her and shout out to Elizabeth DeVries. She built all the layouts for us for the Junior Fall Classic. So I want to thank those two ladies for helping me out a lot.
Yes.
Um, but going back to the event, with all the money we raised, we were able to run a full 2-day C tier event, which on day one was kind of more of a fun get together, do skills comps, had glow rounds. We also had Chance Stad come on and do a clinic for all the kids with throwing and putting. The skills comp was run by Innova Canada and Dennis. Um,
Griffard?
I'm bad with last names.
Yeah.
Gafar, yeah.
Griffard, yeah.
And that he came on and did a skills comp where they had three different type of skills they had to go through and a long drive competition, and it was crazy to see that. I think he was under the age of 15 and he threw over 400 feet, and
Holy
that it was
crow.
unbelievable to see kids at that age throwing that far. And we
Yeah.
also had a couple of kids just randomly show up since we're at MacArthur Island that never played disc golf. They were just wandering through with their families and asked about it and wanted to try. and that's really what
it's
the
all
event is
about.
about,
Yeah.
right? So we gave him a couple discs, and one kid threw like 50 feet the first time, and then like 100 feet, and that.
Right.
So it was like amazing to see. And right from there, he was lit. Like everyone cheered him on, and his face lit up. So we gave him one of the player packs, and hope now he's hooked for life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh,
And
that is
yeah,
that is so good. And that was at day 1. So continuing with day 1,
yeah.
so you had the clinics, you had Chance Stad come out, just doing that for Daryl there.
It was already mentioned in the chat.
But you also did people, because it was around Halloween, so were there some people dressed up in costumes too? Were some of the kids
We didn't end up getting any costumes or anything. It was a little late notice of and trying to remember it was around Halloween, so we didn't really push that.
okay?
But I did make sure, we had glow around on day 1, and
Yep.
that I made sure they got a full-size chocolate bar as their little Halloween treat. So they had a little Halloween thing after their glow adventure.
That's nice. And then as you rolled into day 2, what did day 2 look like?
So day 2 was the actual C tier sanction where they all played 2 rounds, and that we had from ages 8 to 18. Everyone showed up. We had 42 players by the end of the day, I think, actually play in the C tier.
Yeah.
I gotta say it was truly amazing. I got to sit up in the clubhouse and watch over MacArthur Island and just see the whole course just full of players. It's really cool to see. We had great weather that day. Saturday weather fought us, but Sunday was beautiful and sunny and everything. So the kids had I would say a lot more fun.
Oh yeah, they would do.
Yeah, when the weather's a bit better there.
Yeah.
And I just got to keep putting on all these things that you did. Not only did you raise all this money for this tournament, you got 42 kids into it, random kids walking through the park
Yeah.
and made sure they got discs in their hands. Did skills competition with pros like Chance, and also too with Innova Canada helping out as well.
Yeah.
Now,
Kevin, Neil, and Elizabeth.
yeah, and Elizabeth helping out.
Yeah.
And then also too, you did a free lunch for the kids as well?
Yeah, we did a free pizza lunch on Sunday for the sanction rounds, and that was luckily we had the community come together and actually donate that. That was a huge thing. So thank you for everyone that had done that. We also the whole event was free. So also the 3-disc player pack they got with 2 custom discs with my art on it for the stamp, and then a stock run disc from MVP. And thank you to MVP Disc Sports for doing this whole event for them and making sure kids got numerous amount of plastic, lots of prizes and everything. So
And you also put together some trophies there too for the winners as well, did you?
yes, we got some LED acrylic trophies for the top 3, and that they all light up and have the logo on it. And then we have a champions trophy that's almost 2 feet tall, made out of solid wood and everything, that every year when you win your division, you'll be put on it for the years to come. And that, so it'll be able to see, 5 years later, if you won all the years that you played or whatever.
Cool.
That's awesome. One you mentioned about asking all about the first day, the second day, the C tier. What were there any highlights for you from the whole event? Anything that stands out?
Well, the whole event was amazing, and it was really I still don't know how to put it in words. That's one way, but I think the highlight would have been on Sunday. We had one of the Kamloops Valkyries, ace on one of the holes, and was the only ace of the weekend.
That's awesome.
And that she actually did it from the big pads on the cement pads. She wanted to make sure everyone knew she got it from that, not the short pads.
Right.
But the fact of her coming into Tournament Central and there were big giant metal doors, and that she just kicked those things in and just come yelling in, I aced, and everyone cheering, and all of her friends hugging her, everything, and just her energy the whole time after that was amazing. And I think that's the highlight, and that it was it was amazing to see her ace.
Yeah, let's give her a shout out. It was Isabel LeBlanc that got the ace.
Yes, or I believe no. Hold on, was it Isabel? I was
Carrie's
really
saying in the chat.
Izzy ace, yeah, okay.
Izzy Bell, yeah.
Izzy.
Yeah, and so it looks like Izzy was in FJ10, and she hit the ace on hole 11. And I want to say, Daryl, when I looked it up, like it was like just shy of 200 feet or something
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
So FJ10, bam, hitting that ace.
Everyone remembers their first ace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
and
for anyone that plays MacArthur Island, it's the water tower hole, the one that you go around the
oh,
little water
Okay.
tower.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and she did it from the cement pad. So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
yeah.
So now you've run the event, everything is in the books, and all the emotion and everything else that's settled down from the event. Is it something that you would do again next year?
100%. It's going to
Yeah.
be an annual event as far as like I want it to be.
Yeah.
Every year, the fundraising is just how big we can make it, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas on how you looking? Obviously, you must be looking to try and better it and go one step further and see how big you can make it. Do you have any ideas on how you can make it just that little bit better and a little bit more, that extra bit
I
for
was,
next year?
I was going to say, with as
Um,
awesome as it sounds, I wonder if it's even
Yeah.
possible.
If
I don't
not,
know if there's right now anything to really make it like truly better. It was such an amazing event. And that obviously we can maybe fix a few little hiccups here and there, but that's on our back end and that. But I I would run it again the exact same way with the exact same team and everything. So
Yeah,
well, I mean, when you've got a crew as
as strong as Brandon and Carrie and
yeah,
Elizabeth,
and
and having
exactly,
Chance come up, and
yeah.
I'm wondering if
Get
JGT was part of it,
if
if
you
it
get all
ever
those
was.
heads together,
Yeah,
like there's only one way it's going to go. It's going to get better each year. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
And are you expecting too, Stephen? Is it gonna be? Do you want to keep it in Kamloops? Is it something you want to move around BC, or do you figure that's the best place to keep that tournament?
It's going to be for now, for years to come, to stay at Kamloops. MacArthur Island, personally, I think is a very junior friendly course, and that and lots of area for us to do extra activities. Or even in Kamloops, there's lots of other courses if it gets bigger,
Yeah.
and that our plan right now, I would like for next year to maybe just see the tournament completely fill out. I don't want to try to grow too big too fast, and that.
Right.
So if we can maybe next year achieve 72 players, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Now, I think I had reached out to you on Instagram when you had been putting them out, and I think it was around the same time that we had Bevy on the podcast as well.
Mm.
So my mind was in that junior disc golf kind of mindset.
Mhm.
I had spoken to the president of my disc golf association about trying to put on a junior event here, and he had said that we had tried putting one on before, but there just wasn't enough juniors, or there wasn't enough interest in Alberta to try and, or at least in the Edmonton area, to try and put one on. Do you have any tips? It sounds like you just made the event and everybody showed up. Do you have any tips for someone trying to put an event on, how they can run something like this? I mean, get yourself an amazing team, and that's part of your battle right there.
Yeah, I would definitely have to give a lot of credit to Carrie on this one for Carrie Neal. She really thought about the depths and how to make sure more people would show up because it was kind of last minute. Like it was only 3 months out, maybe, that we decided to do this.
Yeah.
So her big advice was to sanction it, and I believe that was a huge thing. We had a lot more kids travel from a farther distance, and that
Right.
because they do want to build their ratings, or junior amateur worlds is something they would like to do, and
Mhm.
that. So when it comes to sanctioned events, they lean heavier for those ones. So it was definitely, I think, that was one of the best choices and what helped our attendance go up.
Oh,
But we
for
were
sure.
close to kind of like a 50-50 on new players or new first time tournament, like, or just, being already a PGA member. So
Yeah. No, that's good, and I would say, yeah, great. We all know how great Carrie is, but Steven, it takes a person like yourself and Brandon, if that's your teammate on it, to get that idea, and you always need somebody to champion it to make it happen. It feels like
Yeah.
is because we've had it told to us by Craig Sheether and others too. Is you can have all the great ideas in the world, but just somebody's got to actually go out and do them, right? So, and that's what you did, right? So fantastic on that, and congrats on running that event, and thank you for doing it as well.
yeah, yeah, and thank you. But I would definitely say on the like, Brandon is. I have all these crazy ideas and I try to get them forward, but Brandon at least helps kind of actually make it happen and make everything reality to me, because sometimes my ideas of what I want to do is a little far out there. So
Yeah.
Well,
But Carrie's in the chat putting in a comment as well. No PDGA temp fees for juniors at C tiers, so it's inclusive.
okay.
There you go. Carrie's got all the
oh
tips and
yeah, that
tricks.
was yeah, I
Yeah.
did forget about that one. Yeah, so when you're a junior, you're not paying that extra $15 fee if you're not a member,
Right.
right? So
Okay.
so it doesn't really matter if it's sanctioned in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
That's all.
cool.
Yeah. All the tips and tricks that help.
Yeah.
I think we need to get one in Alberta. I think,
I think you need to go back to the well there, and you know all the people to talk to, and now you're a VP. You've got a little more pull.
there you go.
Yeah, there
I'll
you
make
go.
I'll make it happen.
You got Bevy on one side of you.
Yeah.
You've got Steven on the other side. You got lots of
Carrie's just
support.
there as
Carrie's
well.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. So cool. Well, that's awesome. Now, Steven, I'm a bit of a goal setter here, is what
Okay.
I am. I'm just moving things along. And Daryl, he's not so much on the goals. Hey, Daryl?
No,
Not so much.
if you don't hit your goals, then you feel depressed you didn't hit it. If you do make your goal, then what next? Then you have to set another goal.
Yeah.
You're always moving the yardstick.
Yet you do pride yourself on not missing any league rounds and things like that too. So, but I was going to say, with the goals there, I noticed that in 2024 you set some goals, and it was a pretty great list, and you had some great forward thinking things as growing the community, hosting events and leagues, and we can see that you're doing that already. And you had some tournament goals. You also had a goal to create your own apparel. How did all of that come along? Did you kind of tick off yours? Because I don't always get all mine ticked off, so I'm just wondering how yours went.
For 2024, most of it went good. Definitely didn't start an apparel company, or my own line in a
Yeah,
sense. That was the big dream or goal. But pretty much everything else I did. I do think I did say I wanted to win my first sanction event, which I didn't win my first sanction, but I did win my first non-sanctioned event. So in MA1, so that made me happy at least.
cool.
Nice.
And I didn't see, but did you put anything out for 2025, or did you just keep those ones to yourself if you did any?
This year would have been more to myself and just focus on the junior
Yeah,
side, and that because that I mainly do my fundraising in the spring, so I really focused on that. And then this summer I kind of actually spent some time on myself and everything, and just lots of disc golf by myself and focus on life.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a
then
great goal to have.
oh, it's a great goal,
Yeah.
100%. And then I guess it leads into the next one, because I might borrow some, because you seem to be very you're hitting goals, and you're reaching, and you're making it there. Do you have anything that you're starting to look at for 2026, whether it's in your, or organizing another juniors, I'm sure is on that list. Do you have any for your personal game or anything like that?
Uh, 2026, I'm pretty much already in there. I already have multiple tournaments scheduled and that to
Okay.
run. Like I do have five, no, four already scheduled. Three
Wow.
will be part of the fundraiser for that. And then I'd say personally, I don't have like huge goals, I guess, like in disc golf. I'm like so focused on the junior stuff growing. I would like to be a little more involved in some local leagues and that. Like I'm usually at them, but I would like to kind of be more involved with that. Um, and then yeah, I think that's really about it for 2026. And that I might have some cool, things coming out in 26 for on the
Mhm.
personal level, but those weren't
Yeah.
really goals yet. So
Okay.
It sounds like he's learned his lesson. He did his first tournament in like over the weekend in a month or two. Now he's got 5 already scheduled for next year. So he realized, I think I'm speaking for you, but you realize that to run a great event and to run multiple great events, maybe planning them out over a few months' time is better than just a weekend road trip.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's 100% plan well ahead,
Yeah,
especially when you start running sanctioned tournaments, or like you're someone that runs an A tier.
yeah,
They're already like, once that tournament ends, they give themselves a couple weeks and they're already thinking about the
yeah,
next one, right? So,
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Well, I think I've been saying it. I wanted to get out to TCO this year. I've actually got a friend out in Wallachin who's I like to visit as well, and I saw him when I was doing that tournament in 2023. I've got it penciled back in for 2026, Daryl.
Oh yeah.
So, is there any chance, Stephen, we could reunite? Are you thinking that's on your list for next year, or no?
it's on the list and scheduled in. I'm not missing that event. I missed it sadly this year, and like seeing everyone's posts and everything, I regretted it instantly. So I will be there no matter what next year. So
There you
Awesome.
go.
Okay, so I got another reason. I got another reason to put on my list. And now the other thing we've been pumping, and you're going to hear us talk about it all the rest of this year and into next
Oh
year.
yeah.
You're going to hear a lot about it, but we're excited that Nationals is going to be in Grand Prairie out in our neck of the woods in Alberta. So a little bit of a jaunt for you, but is that something you might consider too, or is it just a penciled in option?
I would. It's an option right now for sure. I
Yeah.
haven't put a lot of thought into it. It's always just kind of how I feel after running events and everything. If I truly want to commit to a big event like that, I think the road trip would be worth it though. Maybe not even if I don't get in, because sometimes those events are hard to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in those road trips, like I did nationals out at Clearwater a couple years ago, and that one from Edmonton out to kind of that's kind of in your general vicinity. It's just a beautiful drive when you go through that area. So for sure.
Yeah. Carrie said she's going to see you both there.
All right,
Whether she means both
Perfect.
as in me and you, or both as in
I think
Steven.
us too. You're welcome too,
Yeah.
Daryl. You're
No.
welcome.
No.
Don't let it flicker.
It's not on my radar at the moment, but who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah. She'll
exactly.
see you there.
You bet. Well, Daryl, did you have any before I move into my
No, I'm in
informative part of the podcast?
the information part. No,
I
go
have
ahead.
I have an
I'll
informative part.
get my finger ready.
All right. So Stephen, I found this out for Daryl. I like to educate him in our podcast a lot of times about something kind of around where the guests are and that. So I got an interesting fact for him about Vernon. And what I wanted to let you know is that it sits right between the Okanagan Lake
Okay.
and Kalamalka Lake.
Oh.
Did I say it right? Did I say it right?
Yep. Kalamalka
Yes.
Lake. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. And they're two gorgeous lakes. Like Kalamalka actually has this really cool blue color to it. It's like a Lake Louise type thing. It can
Beautiful.
really look good. And so between these two lakes, split by this ridge called the Middleton Mountain. So essentially, it's a big piece of land
Yeah.
divided by water on both sides. And whenever I hear land surrounded by water, my brain goes to, well, I think you know where I'm going with this. Speaking of isolated bits of land,
Picture this. You've taken a relaxing cruise, however the ship goes down. You manage to swim to an island, and fortunately for you, there's an 18-hole disc golf course. Which 3 discs are you taking with you on the island?
Hopefully you got to hear that piece of audio. It's that time of the podcast, Stephen, where we take you on this fantasy trip on this cruise liner that goes down, but you manage to have 3 discs just in a backpack and you swim to an island. Which 3 discs do you have in your bag with you?
Ooh, it's definitely going to be hard to pick 3 because I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to want one overhand disc in there, which kind of just like takes away from everything else.
I will
So
say,
my
Stephen, I'm going to say you, with all the work you've done, have earned yourself a bonus disc. So if you need an extra one, I'm calling it now. You can
There you
take a bonus disc.
There's one extra one that
okay,
you find on the island.
It was your paddle.
Yeah, there you go.
it was my paddle. Okay. So then for an overhand disc, I would stick with my Prodigy FX2. It can do. I can overhand it Thumber and Tomahawk, so I'd be able to at least do everything I want
Yeah.
with that one. And then if I'm going with the extra disc, I would bring my beat-in Electron Envy, and that
Yeah.
great throwing putter and
Yeah.
that, but it's getting beat in that I can flip it and I can do everything kind of I need with it.
Okay.
And then a fairway. I'd go with my favorite fairway, probably the servo.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's yet not as common. Like it's just a little more stable than a crave, but you know, I think I like it more with my high arm speed than a crave.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and a shout out to Gabby Lee. I would definitely take my lightweight Fission Insanity, and that
Right.
Yeah.
it is one of my go-to bombers. I absolutely love it, so I would definitely take it with me everywhere because you could do so much with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have an Electron Envy, a Fission Insanity, the FX2. Which plastic was the FX2 in?
500 plastic.
500 plastic. And then the bonus disc, or the other one was the
Was the Gabby Lee
Neutron
Vision
servo.
Insanity? Oh, okay.
no, the
Oh,
servo.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
which what plastic for the servo? I always like to know what type of
Neutron.
plastic. A neutron plastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and an older flat one. They seem to be the most stable. So
Right.
Gotcha. It sounds
Cool.
like that's 4 discs that would servo him well.
There you go. I say you got the MVP disc sports sign in the back there. Obviously, with MVP supporting that junior event. How much of your bag is MVP?
probably 80-90%.
Yeah.
I don't putt right now with a gyro putter, and then my overhand discs are not gyro. I do have replacements for them, but I'm not sponsored by MVP, so it'd only hurt me to kind of take them out
Yeah.
of my bag for no reason. But
That's fair.
everything else is all gyro for my
Yeah.
backhand forehands.
Yeah. I mean, why would anybody throw plastic of one brand when they're not sponsored, right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Innova.
Mr. Innova. Yeah. And then the other extra question that we like to ask you on this, if you get to this island, if you could transport one course onto the island and that was the only course that you could play with your 3/4 discs, which course would you want to be there?
Now, is this a course I've played or
It
just
can be
an all-time course?
No, it can be a course you've played. It can be a bucket list course. It can be, we've had course designers on here on the podcast before, and they've said that they just want to have an excavator and they design their own course to have on the island. So it can be anything you want.
Have we had a Frankenstein course yet where it's like I want the front 9 from this course and the back 9 from that course?
No,
or
sure.
something? Yeah.
We did have a multiple layout course, so I
Yes,
don't know
we
if that
did.
counts, but yeah. But no, it can be any course you desire. So
Okay, so I think the bucket list I would stick with is going with Maple Hill.
Mm.
yeah. Is that
Obviously, there's a lot of layouts, lots of baskets, so like I would never get bored probably
right?
on an island with that, right?
Yeah. Is that a course that
Um,
you've played, or is that a bucket list course?
that's a bucket list course. But if it was
Yeah.
like a course I had to play, it'd be my favorite so far would be Copper Ridge. I think I would in Logan Lake. I would stick and play on that for the rest of my life if I could.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those courses too out there when you get to Logan, it's a little bit off the beaten track.
Mhm.
So deer are on the course regularly and all sorts of wildlife too. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
One thing we wanted to mention here, and we know as much following your Instagram, and even Carrie kind of gave a shout out in the chat here. We want to talk a little bit before we let you go about your awesome disc dyeing as well.
Oh, okay. That's something I just started doing. As like behind me, you could see kind of my
Yeah.
setup or whatever. Started about like 2 months ago, and I've just been dabbling with it. I think I've fallen in love with it or got a passion for it because I've kind of invested quite a bit into it already and
Yeah.
dove right into the deep end.
And what type
So
of being somebody that's dyed a few discs in their time, Jeremy, maybe not as great looking discs as yours, Stephen, but what type of do you do all types of dyeing? Do you just stick with the glue, or are you um
right now,
the other style?
Yeah, sounding like an expert over here.
I did. I can't remember. There's
The
other
flow
one.
troll or maybe the
No,
shape
there's
Flow troll.
stream or
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
right now I'm trying everything, but right now I'm Flowtrol heavy. I took
Okay.
that investment in buying quite a bit of Flowtrol. It's not cheap, right? But
Yeah.
I know Flowtrol gets the best results with designs and that, but
Yeah.
it depends what you want to do. I've done lotion dyeing. I've
Lotion
done a
dye.
couple
That's the word
glue
I was looking
beds.
for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So lotion dyeing has its place. Like the disc behind me. Oh, I'm the opposite way.
There you go.
Right. I plan to like
Yeah.
color in. This is the junior disc. Oh, my light.
Yeah.
I have my ring
For your
light up.
face.
Right. So I plan to like lotion dye that in,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what lotion dyeing has its purpose or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't, or you can do some lazy wave patterns with lotion. Those are
Yeah.
pretty famous.
Exactly. Though that stamp in the middle there, is that a stamp, or is that hot ink dip?
No, that is a stamp. I'll shut my
Okay.
ring light off and show you.
Oh,
At least
yeah.
so it
It's all good.
doesn't shine on
Yeah, no,
too
we can
bright,
see it. I
right?
just wasn't sure if because I,
It
am an
shouldn't
expert disc
shine
dyer.
back, right?
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Go the
Yeah, and
opposite.
that's
Oh, this
awesome.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one I did for the junior stamp. I have 5 stamps I think out there now. So
Nice.
Cool. And I saw earlier, I think, did you dye that one too, where you had the R2 wave, I think it was, and then you had the white rim around it that was kind of rainbow? Was that?
oh yeah, the motion here.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
motion. Yeah. So you did that
Yeah,
one as well?
yeah, I did that, and I have like another one. I just quickly like I don't know, just add color to the R2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
So
that. That looks really good. Yeah, it
yeah,
probably looks pretty cool when it's flying too and spinning around.
Yeah.
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 Cool. Well, as we get to the end here and we're starting to wrap things up with you, Stephen, we want to make sure to give you a chance. We understand that you might have a couple sponsors we could shout out. And if there's anybody else that you wanted to mention, we wanted to give you some time to do that.
It's a perfect time because Dina in the chat is asking for your Instagram, so you may as well shout it all out.
Yeah.
Perfect. So my Instagrams, I have 2 now. Thumber DG is my disc golf content page, and then Thumber Guy Dies Discs is my new page for my dying adventure. I don't know how often I'll post on there, but I've got quite a bit to actually post, so you'll see some more cool ones. And then also to my one sponsor, and I'm part of Team Alien Disc Golf. I also got to shout them out. And that it's just a group of friends and artists and that all love to play disc golf, and a couple of us love to throw thumbers and that. So it's just a good group of friends. So shout out to them. And then I would the three. I want to shout out 3 other people that
Yeah.
You
are
bet.
been mentors are big for me in this community, and that which is Brandon Bellinger, my partner in crime for the junior fundraisers, and that he's a great friend and has supported obviously the last 2 years of this junior adventure. And then I want to shout out Carrie Neal. She's been an absolute mentor to me. She's an
Yeah.
amazing human, and that we've had great talks and everything. You know, I'm glad I got to meet her. And she joined on for the Junior Fall Classic. We barely knew each other, so I was super happy. And that we've only met her. I only met her twice out on a course, and then
Yeah.
now we're doing tournaments together. And then the
Fantastic.
other person to shout out would be Brett Hanna out in Logan Lake. That
Mhm.
Right.
he's been another big mentor for me, and everything. Big shout out to him for all of the work he's put in. He's built 3 courses out there now, or rebuilt Copper Ridge. He just put in Sunnyside, and then they have the Highland Disc Golf course, which I believe is shut now for the season because it's a ski area. But
Okay.
definitely have to shout him out. He's helped me a lot, and he was a big supporter actually when this fundraiser started. He told me how to kind of run tournaments and how to kind of fundraise and make a little extra money on the side of a tournament to be able to give to the fundraiser. So,
Yeah.
big shout out to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
The chat is
They're loving you.
they're in love with you. They're loving you. Yeah.
Much as we
Much as the
It's
support.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic, Stephen. We appreciate it. We appreciate all you've done for BC disc golf and junior disc golf, and just keep at it, man. We really appreciate it, and we're glad we had a chance to chat with you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. That
Yeah.
is, I know I'm a little nervous at times, but it was very easygoing and I had lots of fun. So thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you bet.
absolutely. We appreciate having you on. Thank you.
And Carrie's already
Yeah.
said it's going to happen, so we'll connect at TCO, my friend. See you then.
Yeah, we will see you at TCO.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Stephen.
You too. Bye.
Bye. There you go, Jeremy.
Daryl.
What an episode.
I'm going to say to you, when we're going through the regular season and we're talking to Thomas and we're talking to Sophia and Gabby and talking to a lot of the pros,
Yeah.
we love that. We know we do.
Yeah.
But I love talking to people who are doing things in the community as well, and just getting a chance to find out that, hey, you don't have to be a pro.
Yeah.
You don't have to have organized tournaments for 20 years. You can just have an idea and all of a sudden in 1 year raise tons of money
That's it.
and put 42 kids through a tournament for free.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's what we've always said. The reason we do this podcast is because we want to promote Canadian disc golf and anybody else who's doing that as well.
Mhm.
And like you said, it doesn't have to be for your own personal gain of winning tournaments and getting your rating higher. It doesn't have to be for monetary gain for running a store or whatever else. As long as you're getting people into the sport, and what better way to get people into the sport than to start so young? And
Mhm.
we've said before, like, we wish we got into the sport when we were that young because we could at least be 900 rated. Some of us are. Well, no, I'm not. But yeah, no, getting the kids into sport is the future. It's the way that we're going to grow the sport. And like, just that story of running an event and then just having a kid not part of the event, just walking through the park and being like, here, have some discs. This is what it's all about. Throw them. And then throwing a disc, and then the rest of the group cheering and like, all that. It's just an amazing, amazing story.
Oh, and even too, like I was kind of getting the feels there when they were talking about when he was talking about Isabel hitting that ace as well, because you could just
Yeah.
picture the energy of a young child or a kid
Yeah.
who's hitting an ace like that,
Yeah.
and how exciting that would be, and then the celebration, just full joy there. So that's awesome that he was doing that. It was
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you to our listeners for humoring you and I as we learned all about thumbers. That might have been a little bit for us.
Are you gonna are you gonna start throwing them now?
I'll try, but he mentioned the shoulder thing,
Yeah, I don't think I
and
got the shot
I'm a
for it.
little nervous about that part of it. I don't need Tommy John surgery because I was
Right.
throwing thumbers, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I think you got to be a specific type of individual to be able to throw them and at least get. I think every shot has its place.
Mhm.
I just don't know if it's got 80% place in
Yes.
my
Well, and
of
even
course.
Stevens kinda split it up to a 50-50, maybe more now, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
for sure. Well,
Oh, thanks, Carrie.
I am excited that we got through this one here and had a great episode, and we had a little technical difficulties, but you can't tell because our technical wizard took care of it all
Do you know why you can't tell?
because we
'Cause
didn't mention anything up until now.
exactly. If you didn't mention anything, nobody would
No
have
one
known,
would have
Jeremy.
known. But yeah, so if you have enjoyed the episode, you know what to do. Head over to Facebook, head over to Instagram, and head over to YouTube and follow us, subscribe, like, comment, tell other people about the Chain Out podcast. Help us grow. That's what we like to continue to do. We're working on getting to 500 subscribers this year was one of our goals.
We're almost there.
Yep,
Well,
we're getting there. We're
getting.
still
Still inching
about
closer.
28 or so away, I
26.
think, 26 away.
Yeah.
So we're going to get there. We got a great big prize pack. Daryl and I are going to work really hard. We keep talking about it, but we're going to get some
Oops.
posts up to show everybody all about it. So,
And by we, you mean me.
yeah, I will encourage Daryl as best as I can to
Yeah.
make that happen.
It'll happen.
Yeah. And then also too, you can always support us out on Patreon as well. We got many different levels, including free. And if you get in on a paid level, you get free entry into all of our contests. So that's like a second entry there. You don't have to do anything. You just get that in.
Mm-hmm.
We also have some certain things like our first 3D printed Chain Out podcast mini.
They
Thank
look
you
like
to
this,
Kevin
but the
Pattison.
actual,
Yeah, and they've got our logo on there.
but actually true color.
And we are talking about this. So we're going to throw this out there so you know. Next year, we're putting it out now.
Ooh,
Maybe we got to save this more for what our goals are
Oh,
for next year
do
for
it,
another
do
one.
it.
But
Tease it.
we're gonna have jerseys. We are gonna have a jersey for next year. So if you've got any interest in that, you let us know. There'll definitely be two made, one for me, one for Daryl, and
Just like the hats.
yeah, just like the hats, and then anybody else. So if you're interested, I know that Carrie had mentioned she liked
know
the
what?
snapback hats. So
I'm gonna go one step further, Jeremy.
okay, one step
I'm
further.
gonna say it's not just jerseys. We're gonna have apparel.
Apparel,
We're gonna have hats. We're gonna have jerseys. We're gonna have hoodies.
hoodies.
And maybe shirts.
Dude,
T-shirts.
what are you doing? How much have you had to drink? No, just nothing.
No, I'm putting
That's
it
how
out there.
serious you are. Putting it out
Yeah.
into the world, make it real.
You know what? I'm taking a leaf out of Steven's book. I'm just gonna say to you, Jeremy, we're making hoodies. We're making apparel, and then we'll just figure out how to do it. That's how you get things done.
That's how you do it. So yeah, that'll
Sonia
be
wants one.
awesome. Well, that's great. So now we got 3.
Apparently, Doc wants a toasted pizza sub. I don't know what that has to do with apparel.
Oh,
but
we could maybe brand that with Chain Out on
Yeah,
top
there
for
you
them,
go.
like like a Quiznos brand or something. So yes, and speaking of Patreon, head over there and check out the link to join us because we're going to do an around the basket episode. We got some disc golf talk for you. We were chatting about what we think about.
I have an idea for you. Sorry.
Hmm.
Sam says you got to get necklaces, chain out chains.
Oh, just like big, like the big old gold, like
Maybe just go to Home Depot and buy some chain link. Like the basket chains.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, check that out. There's a link there. You can join us. You can jump in the chat. We like to interact with you there. We got a couple topics we wanna hit in that episode. So
I really wanna.
I really, really wanna. Okay. But speaking of singing,
Okay, I guess I was kind of speaking of
that's
singing,
not
but
well,
no.
maybe sing song voices. I've got another ending
Well, the
for us
rapping
here.
went so good last week.
Yeah, this one we won't rap it the same way. If you missed the Beastie Boys rap ending, you may want to
Just
not
avoid
go
it.
back to the last
No.
episode. I don't know. But all right, I got this one here. You're
You
gonna
got it?
You know, you're starting it. And
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
got
do
to
it
start
together.
it?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
go ahead.
Is everybody ready? Take your seats. Okay.
Are we doing? How are we gonna do this one? Are we gonna read it like a book reading? Or are we gonna do it more like a?
We're going to figure
I'll
it out
follow
on the
your
fly.
lead.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Steven's disc golf passion is truly burning.
An amazing guy straight out of Vernon.
He launches thumbers across the sky.
Fun to watch them flip, turn, and fly.
The junior game is close to his heart.
A totally free tournament? What a start.
The Ogopogo is real, I have no doubt.
If I ever want to catch it, I better have a
Chain
chain out.
Thanks, everybody. We will see you next time.